YouTube, what's good? Welcome back to my channel, Self-Made Individual. Today, I'm gonna show you how to make a young DOLPH beat simply made. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight to it. Alright, so if you got FL Studio, go ahead and pull it up right now. If you watch my previous video, like I said, the first thing I always do, I start off with my melody and I work my way on up. So what I first do, the first thing that I did with this beat right here, I started off with a few keys, my bass keys right now, my solid bass keys, and I work my way on up. This is how it sounds without the top keys. Alright, so what I'm gonna do right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and mute the top keys real quick so you can hear exactly how it sounds. If you don't know how to mute the keys, this is what you go to right here. Just follow along right here if you don't know how to mute your keys. Maybe if you recording just like I am, you just wanna know how to mute the keys, to use this right here. Alright, my bass note. Alright, so once I do that, once I start my bass notes off, all I do is work my way on up. This is what it sounds like with the rest of the notes that I added. To be honest, man, you can really hear the beat right now in your head, where it's going. You can definitely hear it. So by me creating the bass notes and then starting working my way on up, now I can follow along and actually add more flavor to the beat. For the people that don't use this right here, for the beginners that don't use this right here, make sure you do use the velocity control, the velocity and the control, everything. Well, make sure you use the velocity in the in this section right here, because this will help your keys out a lot. When you lowering certain parts down and you got certain parts that's higher than the other, it actually give you that real feel. So, and to give you that, it definitely give you that flavor, because you don't want every key sounding, you don't want the keys sounding mono. All right. So after I do that, once I make my piano key, I go up to my guitar. If you haven't watched my previous video when I was talking about the Contact, the Keyzone Classics, the arcade and stuff like that, I'm gonna leave a link in the description as well so you can grab it. Alright, so Contact. This is what I did with the Contact. Only thing I did with the Contact, all I did was just repeat the steps. That's really it. I just kept repeating the steps. That's all you really need to do. Alright, that's exactly how that sound. Then all I did was I just added a hat. I just added my hats, and this is what this sound like. I might do the same thing with my melody. I do with my hats as well. You lower some of the tempo to give it flavor. You know, you just work your way on up. First you start off with the hi-hats. You just start off with a straight line, then you just start working your way on where you see what fits. It's all about what you see that's fit. Train your ear to see what's fit. That's all you doing. This is what it sounds like. All right, and only thing I did was I added a hat. I added a snare. It was a simple snare. All right, I don't know about nobody else in the FL Studio, but I normally develop my kicks to give it that hard kick. Also, what I do, if nobody haven't told you, what you can do in FL21, you can go straight here to this little arrow right here, this little clip on button right here. Click onto it, go straight to boost. All you need is 1%. All you need is just 1%. Now, if you want to do more, you can, but this is what it does. If you have not seen any other video like this, or you have not seen how to make your bass hit harder, this right here will help your bass hit harder. You don't really necessarily have to use the soft clipper unless you want to. You can use the soft clipper And there's plenty of other ways you can make your bass hit harder. But me personally, I normally use this. This is what it sounds like. You see how it's making the wave bigger? So you see how it's giving the wave a wider spread? So this is what it normally do. If you like the strategy that I use, I double up my kicks. Just double up your kicks and then just add at least 1%. Depending on the kick that you're using, just add only just 1%. You can also do the same thing with your snare, because I do the same thing with my snares as well. Sometimes I add 1% just to give it a harder hit. That's one thing that I like about FL Studio 21. They built in a effect target, so that way you can boost up whatever you're trying to boost up or whatever you're trying to do to it, EQ and all. So I actually like that, how they did that. Pattern 2, only thing I did do was just add a few sound effects and a crash. That's all I really added to give it a better flavor. This is what it sounds like. On pattern 3, I added my bass line. And this is what my bass line sound like with my kicks. Alright, so when it come down to my bass line, the only thing that I really did was I basically just followed the kick, and I just added a few notes just to give it that flavor. If you want to create a slide, only thing you got to do is double click, and once you double click it, you want to go right here, click on this right here. I never use this because I never tried it, but this right here is normally how you make a slide for you beginners. And then if you want to distort it, all you have to do is mess around with these knobs right here to give it a distortion. That's all you have to do. Okay, so when it come down to my EQ effects, the way my guitars and everything sound, got that wider feel, this is what I did. The only thing I did with my melodies and my kicks and all, I just added, like I always say, add a parametric. I added parametric, Valhalla delay to give it a wider feel. Of course, these my tags. I added my tags. Also, I added the same thing with my guitar. I did the same thing. Most of my stuff I did most of the same thing. Delays, Valhalla vintage, reverb, and a fruity parametric to give it a better feel, to actually give it space. So that's mainly what I did, just to give every last one of them his own room, his own space to breathe. That's basically all I did. Also, I added with my 808, I added a fast disc to give it more of a distortion feel. So you can also use that to give it a distortion feel as well. All you got to do is just tweak around with the knobs and see what fit to you when it comes down to you making your beat. Then on the master part, the only thing I did was to check my levels. I just used this. I just stuck it to the tab, and then I only use another parametric to kind of give it more space. And then I add a fruity limiter to, you know, raise the ceiling and also raise the gain on it. That's all I really do. But if you selling your beat, or you doing it for BeatStars or something like that, I normally just cut my limiter also. That way the ceiling won't be so high up and the people don't have headroom. And another thing that I did add that I forgot to mention was where I'm at. I also added a arcade vocal to my beat as well. They give it more of a also give it more of a Young Dolph feel. This is what it sounds like. Alright, so this is how you quickly make a simple Young Dolph beat. You don't have to do so much to it. Only thing you gotta do is just add a couple of melodies, stick to it, because most of the time his beat repeats itself. The melody don't change on some of his beats. So that's all you have to do. Some of the main thing you definitely always want to add when making a Young Dolph beat is dark pianos. Most of the time he use dark pianos in his beats. Alright, so without further ado, this is what it sounds like. Alright, so you heard it here first. If you like this beat and you like this tutorial, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. I see you in the next one. Peace.